Now friends, for an Aries ascendant native, we know that the 7th house is Libra and the 7th house lord is Venus, which also rules and controls the 2nd house. Which means because the 7th house is opposite to the Lagna, each and every person that we deal on a day-to-day basis. And who we do we deal on a day-to-day basis? Our colleagues, most of the time. For somebody who is a homemaker, who do we deal with most of the time? Husband, maybe the maid or maybe the cook. But if you are a homemaker, generally most of our time, most of our lives goes with husband, maybe to some extent for a few years, 10 to 15 years are children. But majority of the time is to our spouse. However, if you are a working person, majority of the time throughout the day, we deal with others. So Venus ruling the 2nd house and the 7th house means that without your ability to be able to manage relationships connected to our values, connected to our family values, connected to our legacy, we will not be able to get good results on a day-to-day basis connected to our careers. Why is it career? Because 7th house is also the house of everybody that you work on a day-to-day basis. Your ability to work in teams, your ability to work with colleagues. That is the 7th house. And the 7th lord is also ruling the 2nd house, which means your ability to deal with people, how you work with people, how you manage those relationships will also affect your earning. But it also means if your relationship with the spouse is not good, then you will also impact the ability to work with other people at work. If you see, generally you will find most of our Aries ascendant natives that if you are not on good terms with your spouse, if you have had a bad day, when you're leaving home, you have had a fight with your spouse, or the previous night you had a fight with spouse, the whole day doesn't go very well. You're not able to focus on work. You're not able to concentrate on your work. And this will also throughout the day. You will find, you try and see this. Whichever day you are upset and angry with your spouse and you go in that mood to work, your whole day will not go very well. Not only because your mindset is that you will find some of the other challenge you run into at work, some of the other argument you run into with people, some challenge will come up, people will put some they will not like your data, they will not like your work, the boss will put you down, something or the other sticky will come at work. So it's very important, if you are an Aries rising person, manage your relationship with the spouse well, with the values of serving and keeping the family legacy, which means whatever your family has taught you, whatever your mother has taught you, with respect to how you keep your relationship, manage those, keep those values intact. And the ruler is of what? Which is the ruler of the 7th house? Venus, which means keep your language nice, keep your language sophisticated, keep your language soft, dress well, smell well, and be on nice and good terms with your spouse on the intimacy level, on a romance level. You keep the intimacy high with your loved ones, especially with your husband. I'm talking about where else will you get your intimacy from? And you keep the relationship well, be soft, be sophisticated in your relationship, then you will find, keep the romance high with your husband, with your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend. You will find that you will have a better equation with colleagues at work and you have a better nutrition. The bank balance will also go up because Venus not only rules your 7th house but also the 2nd house of nutrition and earning.